Hello friends, my name's Allison Vanderslice and thank you for joining me today. We're going to be making slider cards today that I learned from a YouTube video by Lisa Curcio. First we're going to use a maroon or dark red cardstock, but you can use any color of your choice. This is going to be our card base. Along the 8.5 lengthwise, we're going to score at 1/2 inches and 4.5 inches. Now we'll rotate our paper to the 11-inch side and cut at 5.5 inches. This will make our standard A2 size card base. This will produce 2 card bases, but in this video we're going to show 1 card. In my next video, I'm going to show the whole batch making process of 6 of these slider cards. Now we're going to take our bone folder and go along those score lines. The reason why we want to use the bone folder is going to make a crisp edge for us, and it will make the card a little bit more sturdy. Now I'm going to take my tear tape and put it along the 1/2 inch crease. We're not going to close it up yet because we still have to do the slider portion inside. So we're just going to put the tape right there on the 1/2 inch and then leave the backing on. This is the pattern paper that I decided to use for this little set of cards. This is called the Holiday Spice Collection from Recollections from Michaels. I also had these little pieces from another set that I just got from Michaels, and I'll try to leave both links in the description box below. Here you can see me going through the different pattern papers to see which ones I liked. Again, I said I'm going to be putting up another video showing the batch making process of 6 of these cards, since I had a school teacher friend ask me to make 5 cards for her to give out for the holidays. Now we're going to take our patterned paper and cut it by 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/4 inch. We're going to take our patterned paper, put any adhesive of your choosing on the back. Today I'm going to be using liquid glue because I find it cost effective when batch making. And then we're going to put it on our card front. Now we'll take our card bases and we will have to make a slit on the front so that way the slider can go up and down. The reason why we didn't close it is because we still had to put the slit in. We're going to start at 1 inch and then go down to 4.5 inches. What's nice about these paper trimmers is that usually they have a little guide on either side to let you know where the blade actually is. So I'm going to be referencing that at 1 inch and 4.5 inches. Laying our card base all the way open, we're going to go in at 1 3/4 inches and then put our blade down at 1 inch and go to 4.5 inches. That will create the little slit that we need for the slider card. Now onto our insert. We're going to cut this one at 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. Using the scraps from the insert, we're going to cut this piece at 3 1/4 inch by 3/4 inches. This will be the little tab holding the insert and the slider portion that will go up and down. Now onto the stamping. I'm going to be using my stamping platform, but you can just use an acrylic block if you need to. We're going to be doing heat embossing with the embossing powder, so we're going to use our anti-static tool and put a little bit of that powder on, and we're going to use Merry Christmas as our sentiment. We do want it to be a little bit lower because we are going to have a cutout to let them know that we're going to have a pull up feature. I am conditioning the stamp, and now I'm going to use my VersaFine clear sticky embossing ink and then put a gold embossing powder on top. I'm using a coffee filter to collect all of that extra embossing powder. Now we're going to heat set it with our heat tool, and the magic will appear on the screen. Going back to our stamp platform, I'm going to put a set of Christmas trees on. Now, if you do decide to do this, I recommend putting them up a little bit higher because you can't really see them once we pull it up. Now I'm going to stamp once with a leaf and then double stamp that again to create a lighter image of the leaf. Going back to our card front now, I'm going to use a circle punch and only go a little bit of the way in so that way they know it's a pull feature. Card front is a special one. We're going to have to actually put the insert in before we attach the tab. Now we're going to get ready to insert the tab. For this, we're going to put a little bit of glue on it, and be careful you don't want too much on because it might go out. Then we're going to take that piece and turn it over so the glue is facing down. We're going to slide it across the top of the card base with the glue still off the paper and then press it down. Now we'll take a hole punch and put a hole in the top so we can add our string later. Here's the fun part, decorating your little slider portion. I'm going to be using some vellum that I'm tearing, and then I'll use this little cardinal, again from that cutout sheet that I'll put in the description box below. I'm going to put a little bit of the adhesive roller on the back of the cardinal and put that down on the vellum. I'll then flip it over, and then I'm going to use these foam squares and then put that down onto the slider tab. And here's what that would look like. You can see the cardinal going up and down the slider. To make sure they know to pull up, we're going to add a little stamp that says pull up. Now we're going to take some thread and we will cut it. They recommended 6 inches and I just found that was a little bit too much, so I just did what was good for my fingers. And here you can see that I have 6 sets. That's because when I was making this, I made 6 carts. We're going to take our thread and line them up even and fold it in half. Once it's folded in half, we're going to then take it up to the hole, and then using my take your pick tool from Stampin' Up, I'm just going to use the pointy side and poke those strings through the hole to make it a lot easier to get them through. Take the ends of the strings and then put it through the hole and then lightly pull down to tighten up that knot. Now I'm going to take my scissors and just trim up those ends of the strings. To make the envelopes a little bit more fancy and to match our card, we're going to do that double stamping again with the leaf. We'll go down with the first stamp for a dark concentration, and then we'll stamp again right after for a lighter concentration to get the double image of the leaf. And there you go, you have your slider card. Thank you again so much for watching this tutorial on the holiday slider card. My next video will be a batch making video, and it will just have holiday music in the background while you watch me make 6 of these slider cards. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch more of my content, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.